welcome again to our Bible meditation. This reading is for February 7th, 2024. We're reading Numbers 32, 33, 34, and 35.
And we're reading from the New King James Version. Numbers 32, the tribes settling east of the Jordan. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of livestock, and when they saw the land of Jair and the land of Gilead, that indeed was a place for livestock. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moses, to Eleazar the priest, and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Ataroth, Dibon, Jazer, Nimrah, Hezbon, Elieleh, Shebam, Nebo, and beyond, the country which the Lord defeated before the congregation of Israel, is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. Therefore they said, if we found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants as a possession, and do not take us over the Jordan. And Moses said to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war while you sit here? Now why will you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Lord has given them? Thus your fathers did when I sent them away from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when he went to the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, so that they did not go into the land the Lord had given them. So the Lord's anger was aroused that day, and he swore an oath, saying, surely none of the men who came up from Egypt from 20 years old and above shall see the land which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, except Caleb. Right?
Caleb,
that's what I said. The son of
Jephunneh,
the Canaanites, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the Lord. So the Lord's anger was aroused against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Lord was gone. And look, you have risen in your father's place a brood of sinful men, to increase still more the fierce anger of the Lord against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he will once again leave them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all these people. Then they came near to him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our livestock, and cities for our little ones, but we ourselves will be armed, ready to go before the children of Israel until we brought them to their place, and our little ones will dwell in fortified cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until every one of the children of Israel has received his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, because our inheritance has fallen to us on this eastern side of Jordan. Then Moses said to them, if you do this thing, if you arm yourself before the Lord for war, and all your armed men cross the Jordan before the Lord until he's driven out his enemies from before him, and the land is subdued before the Lord, then afterward you may return and be blameless before the Lord and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Lord. But if you do not do so, then take note, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build cities for your little ones, and folds for your sheep, and do what has proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moses, saying, Your servants will do as my Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our livestock will be there in the city of Gilead. But your servants will cross over, every man armed for war, before the Lord to do battle, just as the Lord, my Lord says. So Moses gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the chief fathers of the tribes of children of Israel. And Moses said to them, if the children of Gad and the children of Reuben cross over Jordan with you, every man armed for battle before the Lord, and the land is subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead as a possession. But if they do not cross over armed with you, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Then the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, as the Lord has said to your servants, so we will do. We will cross over armed before the Lord in the land of Canaan. But the possession of our inheritance shall remain with us on this side of the Jordan. So Moses gave the children of Gad, the children of Reuben, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon king, the Amorites, the kingdom of Og, the kingdom of Bashan, with its lands, its cities, within the borders of the cities of the surrounding country. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Atharoth, and Erol, Atroth, and Shaphan, and Jazer, and Jabihah, Beth Neham, Nebra, Beth Haran, fortified cities and poles for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, Elilah, Kilajim, Kirjadim, Nebo, Baal-meon, their names being changed, and Sibmah, and they gave other names to the cities which they built. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. So Moses gave Gilead to Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelled in it. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and took its small towns and called them Havbah Jair. Then Nobah went and took Kenah and its villages, and he called it Nobah after his name.
Numbers 33. Israel's journey from Egypt reviewed. These are the journeys of the children of Israel who went out of the land of Egypt by their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. Now Moses wrote down the starting points of their journeys at the command of the Lord, and these are their journeys according to their starting points. They departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the day after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with boldness in the sight of all the Egyptians. For the Egyptians were burying all their firstborn whom the Lord had killed among them. Also on their gods the Lord had executed judgments. Then the children of Israel moved from Ramses and camped at Succoth. They departed from Succoth and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. They moved from Etham and turned back to Pi-hahiroth, which is east of Baal-zephon, and they camped near Migdol. They departed before Hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, went 3 days' journey in the wilderness to Etham and camped at Marah. They moved from Marah and came to Elim. At Elim were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there. They moved from Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They moved from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. They journeyed from wilderness of Sin and camped at Dophkah. They departed from Dophkah and camped at Alush. They moved from Alush and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They departed from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. They moved from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattaavah. They departed from Kibroth Hattaavah and camped at Hazeroth. They departed from Hazeroth and camped at Rithmah. They departed from Rithmah and camped at Rimmon Perez. They departed from Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They moved from Libnah and camped at Rissah. They journeyed from Rissah and camped at Kehelathah. They went from Kehelathah and camped at Mount Sephir. They moved from Mount Sephir and camped at Haradah. They moved from Haradah and camped at Makheloth. They moved from Makheloth and camped at Tahath. They departed from Tahath and camped at Terah. They moved from Terah and camped at Mithkah. They went from Mithkah and camped at Hashmonah. They departed from Hashmonah and camped at Moseroth. They departed from Moseroth and camped at Beni Jaakan, and moved from Beni Jaakan and camped at Hor Haggidgad. They went from Hor Haggidgad and camped at Jotbathah. Okay. They moved from Jotbathah and camped at Abronah. They departed from Abronah and camped at Ezion-Geber. They moved from... Why are you laughing? I say something funny? Okay.
These names.
Just be glad you're not reading it. Anyway.
I'm thankful.
Okay. They moved from Ezion-Geber and camped at the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. They moved from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor, at the boundary of the land of Edom. Then Aaron the priest went up to Mount Hor at the command of the Lord, and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Egypt, on the first day of the 5th month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. Now the king of Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. So they departed from Mount Hor and camped at Zalmonah. They departed from Zalmonah and camped at Panon. They departed from Panon and camped at Oboth. They departed from Oboth and camped at Ije-Abarim, at the border of Moab. They departed from Ijim and camped at Dibon-Gad. They moved from Dibon-Gad and camped at Almon-Diblathaim. They moved from Almon-Diblathaim and camped in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. They departed from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho. They camped by the Jordan from Beth Jezmoth as far as the Abel-Arcacia Grove in the plains of Moab. Instructions for the conquest of Canaan. Now the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have crossed the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, destroy all their engraved stones, destroy all their molded images, and demolish all their high places. You shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell in it, for I have given you the land to possess, and you shall divide the land by lot as an inheritance among your families. To the larger you shall give a larger inheritance, and to the smaller you shall give a smaller inheritance. There's everyone's inheritance shall be whatever falls to him by lot. You shall inherit according to the tribes of your fathers. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall be that those whom you let remain shall be irritants in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they shall harass you in the land where you dwell. Moreover, it shall be that I will do to you as I thought to do to them. Wow.
Yeah. Numbers 34. The appointed boundaries of Canaan. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin along the border of Edom. Then your southern border shall extend eastward to the end of the Salt Sea, and your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, continue to Zin, and be on the south side of Kadesh Barnea. Then it shall go on to Hazar Adar and continue to Osman. The border shall turn from Osman to the brook of Egypt, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This shall be your western border. And this shall be your northern border. From the great sea you shall mark out your borderline to Mount Or. From Mount Or you shall mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath. Then the direction of the border shall be to Zedad. The border shall proceed to Siphron, and it shall end at Hazar Enan. This shall be your northern border. You shall mark out your eastern border from Hazar Enan to Shephem. The border shall go down from Shephem to Riblah on the east side of Ain. The border shall go down and reach the eastern side of the sea of Chinnerek. The border shall go along the Jordan, and it shall end at the Salt Sea. This shall be your land with its surrounding borders. Then Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land you shall inherit by lot, which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribes have received their inheritance from this side of Jordan, across from Jericho, eastward toward the sunrise. The leaders appointed to divide the land. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, These are the names of the men who shall divide the land among you as an inheritance. Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and you shall take 1 leader of every tribe to divide the land for the inheritance. These are the names of the men from the tribe of Judah: Caleb, the son of
Jephunneh.
And from the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel, the son of Ammihud. From the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad, the son of Shidlam. A leader from the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki, the son of Joriah. And from the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Hanel, the son of Ephod, a leader from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel, the son of Shephatan, a leader from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Eliphan, the son of Parnach, a leader from the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel, the son of Azan, a leader of the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahihud, the son of Shalomi, a leader from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Pedahel, the son of Ammihud. These are the ones the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Israel in the land of Canaan.
Numbers 35. Cities for the Levites. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession, and you shall also give the Levites common land around the cities. They shall have the cities to dwell in, and their common land shall be for their cattle, for their herds, for all their animals. The common land of the cities which you will give the Levites shall extend from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. The city shall be in the middle. This shall belong to them as common land for the cities. Now among the cities which you give to the Levites, you shall appoint 6 cities of refuge, to which a manslayer may flee, and to these you shall add 42 cities. So all the cities you will give to the Levites shall be 48. These you shall give with their common land. And the cities which you will give shall be from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger tribe you shall give many, from the smaller you shall give few. Each shall give some of its cities to the Levites in proportion to the inheritance that each receives. Cities of refuge. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall appoint cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who kills any person accidentally may flee there. They shall be cities of refuge for you from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation in judgment. And of the cities which you give, you shall have 6 cities of refuge. You shall appoint 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, and 3 cities you shall appoint in the land of Canaan, which will be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be for refuge for the children of Israel, for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that anyone who kills a person accidentally may flee there. But if he strikes him with an iron implement, so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he strikes him with a stone in the hand, by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he strikes him with a wooden hand weapon, by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The avenger of blood himself shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. He shall put him to death. If he pushes him out of hatred, or while lying in wait, hurls something at him so that he dies, or in enmity he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, the one who struck him shall surely be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. However, if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws anything at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him, so that he dies, while he was not his enemy or seeking his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the manslayer and the avenger of blood, according to these judgments. So the congregation shall deliver the manslayer from the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall return him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the manslayer at any time goes outside the city limits of the city of refuge where he fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the limits of his city of refuge, and the avenger of blood kills the manslayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return to the land of his possession. And these things shall be a statute of judgment to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever kills a person, the murderer shall be put to death on the testimony of witnesses. But one witness is not sufficient testimony against a person for the death penalty. Moreover, you shall take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. And you shall take no ransom for him who has fled to the city of refuge, that he may return to dwell in the land before the death of the priest. So you shall not pollute the land where you are, for blood defiles the land, and no atonement can be made for the land for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. Therefore, do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. So they had sanctuary cities back then,
Yep.
but for a good cause. I mean, I understand that. Don't you think?
Yes.
That made sense. So that concludes our reading. Do you have any words?
Yeah, tomorrow we finish Numbers.
Okay. Then
Go
we'll
to
go.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's a good reading, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else striking?
Well, if somebody killed somebody unintentionally, they had a place to go until the congregation could judge him.
I actually had something here, but now I guess. Oh yeah, this was in 32. 32. Let's see here. Possessions. No, this is not it. But it was interesting that they had to destroy all the possessions
Yes.
when they went into Canaan.
Couldn't retain any
Yeah.
idols or anything else.
No, the idols, everything was destroyed.
Destroyed.
So that makes you wonder too, what we have in our own house. What do we have that we should get rid of?
Amen.
Right?
Right charm.
Okay, so that concludes our reading, right?
Yep.
And we will be back tomorrow.
Read your Bibles and pray without ceasing.
Have a great night. Be blessed.